ate, slept, and drank, because I hung out with
Remember getting woken up in the middle of the night by comedy? By like, where you'd wake up at 5 in the morning and go, idea for a
Oh,
joke.
yeah. I still do. I always carry my notebook around with me, and I bring my notebook on stage. I always have a pen on me and a notebook. And I still occasionally, but it's not like it was. It used to be so fertile. Right. Because I was obsessed with it. And Laura Keitlinger comes to mind. Laura Keitlinger, one of my all-time favorite stand-ups in the world.
Very funny.
But I can remember the two of us were absolutely, that's all we talked about in our 20s. That's all we wanted to do. It was crazy. And if we weren't performing in stand-up clubs, we were hanging around in them and just watching other people do stand-up. It was very bizarre. I don't have that kind of fire anymore, but I still have the good intent of not recycling material and trying so hard not to be a hack.
Right.
I mean,
well, you're gonna do another HBO special.
Yeah, I'm gonna do an hour.
So how do you prepare for that in between all the other?
I always have the notebook, and whether I'm doing stand-up or not, I'm always writing notebook stuff down. I was just at Catch Rising Star last week. I'm at 2 colleges this weekend in Baltimore and in Montana. I was supposed to do.
Wait, I'm sorry, Baltimore and Montana. That's the circuit now, isn't it?
Oh yes, yes. Like I got scared for a second. I thought I said something really weird.
No. It's just because you went Baltimore to Montana. That's back to back.
No, I'm just back to back. So I'm flying a lot for that. But it used to be where you're on the road and you were doing and if you ever did NACA, do you remember National College Association?
Sure, I remember that.
Oh, and you would rent the car and drive, and you were 2 weeks on the road on your own in this crappy rental car and bombing in colleges.
Birmingham, Alabama.
It was so sad. It was so sad.
The only thing I remember about NACA is the guy who was booking my colleges telling me not to do my regular act because I'd get no work. And I kept saying, but if I do the other thing, when I get down there, they'll beat me up.
Right. It's weird. I would bomb. I mean, I would do my real act for the NACA convention, which is where these students come and judge you and decide if they're going to book you at their schools. And then I would do it. But I would not do well at the convention, but still get some work somehow out of it. There'd be like one errand.
I think you've always had the ability that people will identify with what you're doing because it's very real, and I think that's the thing that I've always appreciated very much about it. But anyway, we have to take another commercial break. Am I correct? We'll be back with Janeane Garofalo. The movie is Romeo and Michelle's High School Reunion. Please call us 1-800-952-2788 and order the phone as well, the football phone. All right, we'll be right back. Late Show. I'm Jon Stewart, sitting in for the vacationing Tom Snyder. We're here with Janeane Garofalo, and we have Ivan from South Carolina on the line. Ivan?
Yeah, how's it going?
Well, that's just a little pensive, but go ahead.
Okay. My question for Janeane was, do you still struggle with your weight, kind of? I saw you on another talk show, and you said that you had kind of like sold out.
Yeah.
And you got
I'm still selling out, baby. Except I'm up and I'm down. I can go up and down 15 pounds in a minute and a half.
Well, you look fine, like the way you are.
Thank you.
You look fine.
But no, I feel like a sellout when I do struggle with my weight. I've discussed that before because there's no nobility in losing weight, I don't feel.
Neither do I. I mean,
no, I don't. If I can cut in here, and I don't mean to be the guy on the wrong side of this issue, but when I feel heavy, I try to lose weight because my pants don't feel quite as pleasant. And that's not, it's got nothing to do with a societal impulse.
I realize that, and I'm not denying anybody their runner's high and their endorphins and their feeling fit and seizing the day. I don't deny anyone that. But I just feel that I think a lot of it is you trick yourself into thinking, I feel better and blah, blah, blah. But what it is what you probably feel the best about is the positive reinforcement that people around you give you, since people worship being lean so much. You know what I mean? But I just, it's so skewed now. It's so ridiculous, like what our idea of heavy is now is absolutely absurd.
Well, I think in an aesthetic sense, perhaps, and Ivan, you can back me up on this or you won't.
Okay.
But in an aesthetic sense, I agree with you. But in a health sense, like I have recently been running little control experiments on my body.
Okay.
And you know what? When I stop smoking for a day, I feel genuinely better.
You have a control group?
I use myself.
Did you start with the scientific method?
And my clone Claude.
Okay.
No, but I use, you know what I'm saying? When I'm eating crappy foods and smoking a lot and drinking too much, I feel lousy. And when I don't, I feel a little better.
As you should, but...
Yeah, but you're talking about a health issue. You're not talking about a
That's what I'm saying. This is not an aesthetic sense, but maybe a lot of people are not thinking so much.
Many people... Ivan, you might back me up on this, or maybe
Ivan as our pawn.
Many people lose weight for the wrong reasons, starve themselves for the wrong reasons. It's very rarely just for health. Do you think people go and get on that Stairmaster every day for the sheer love of the Stairmaster?
No.
Absolutely not. And
you don't think in some ways, though, not purely aesthetics, but it's sort of a battle against impending old age? Or...
Maybe. But what about, you know what would be great? If people actually took that much time to work on their personality skills.
Right.
Or they're intelligent.
But it's a balance. You know, this has been for the ages. And Ivan?
Yeah?
You can back me up this, so you can.
I'm going to back you up on this one.
But the whole idea of mind and body going together, I do believe
but
that
people
there's
don't pay attention to the mind. They don't pay attention to the mind. They are never exercising the mental muscle, if you will.
I believe we have as many bookstores as we have gyms.
That's wonderful if there's the Barnes & Noble chains and all of that, and the Borders chains. I think that's tremendous.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, most people are quite content to let their personality and being an interesting person fall by the wayside in pursuit of a weight goal. And also, you know what'll bring a personality down so fast is vanity. Right. And when you get there, I am guilty of this. When I lost the 30 pounds, I must admit that I got a little bit cockier than I like in a person and myself most especially.
Right.
Okay.
And especially when I had a couple of drinks in me. I got real cocky. You know what I mean? Like I'm at a bar and wow, I weigh 100 pounds. It's like this hubris that I understand why the gods strike you down for hubris, because it's very, you know, people don't wear it well. I cannot stand that kind of vanity that comes with being lean. I really hate it in myself and in other people. And your personality gets worse, I think, as your weight declines.
Really?
You become less special. You become less inclined to use your personality to connect with people.
Yeah.
You know? The aesthetic speaks before your mind.
I think it's possible. I think in many times in childhood, that's where it's all sort of formed. And if you got over easily in childhood through that without having to use your personality, maybe that is. As adults, I'm not quite sure.
Yeah.
I don't know enough, about it. I don't think.
What are you saying? You don't think in your adult life that tends to be the case?
No, I think in your adult life, I think your personality is a little bit more set. I think.
Well, I think you're just lucky enough to travel in enlightened circles, which I think I am too. I think that I've been really lucky to have met really great people as I get older.
Right.
But when I go on the road and do I'm using stand-up now. Maybe back me up on this, maybe not. When you...
Ivan now is worried about the phone bill.
Our Sancho Panza, Ivan. When you go on the road and you meet, like John and Jane Q. Public, I hate that I use that term too much. But, man, they are as bad as the 7th grade gym locker room, the way they talk about women and the way they... Like when you perform in bars, when you stand for bars that are essentially meat markets and they're not listening to the show anyway, and you watch what they're doing and the politics of meet and greet and all of that, it's as bad. It's as bad. And with our obsession in our culture with how our bodies look, it's worse. I mean, but I'm not being totally devil's advocate here. There are, obviously, when you're 35.
Yeah, I was just suggesting as I felt my physical nature declining more rapidly than I ever imagined it would, it always helps me to go, hey, you know what? Maybe I'll skip dinner tonight. And that's purely because sometimes you wake up and you go, wow, a new friend. My stomach.
You're saying if you eat dinner, you'll have a bigger stomach in the morning.
Yeah,
if you skip dinner, you're...
Again, I'm as unhealthy both ways.
You need the abdominizer.
That's what it all boils down to, Ivan. Did you check that?
Yep.
Thank you very much for calling in.
Thanks.
Buddy.
All right.
I hate to say goodbye. We got to go to commercial, and then Janeane Garofalo. Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion when?
You're not going to show a
When's
clip?
Coming up? April 25th. Is there a clip?
I thought there was a clip.
Can we act it out?
When we lose time, is it too much? We
Is
don't
it
have
too much time? Can we show it? Why don't we show it? Do we have it? Let's show the clip from Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion. You have that?
I'm in a hurry. Well, I'm going as fast as I can, Miss Mooney. Heather Mooney? From Sagebrush High in Tucson?
Yeah?
It's Romy White! No, this is so weird. I didn't know you were living in L.A.
Well, now that you know, will we be getting together a lot?
So, God, you're driving a new Jaguar? What do?
Ever hear of Lady Fair cigarettes?
The ones that burn down real fast?
Twice the taste and half the time for the gal on the go. I invented the quick burning paper. Worth retrieving, wasn't it?
That was absolutely worth retrieving. Janeane Garofalo. The movie is Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
For joining us on the program. It's nice to see you. Joe Queenan will be coming up next, so please stick around. Bye-bye.